ESL Library. The English language. Most people would agree that the English language has become the lingua franca of the modern era. Approximately 1/3 of the world's population, more than 2 billion people, use English in some capacity. More than 50 countries, including the United Kingdom, Singapore, India, and Zimbabwe, list it as their official language. English consists of more than 1 million words, the most words of any language. This wealth of vocabulary can be explained by the number of influences it has had since it first evolved from its roots. The origins of the English language can be traced back to the 5th century AD, when the British Isles were invaded by the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes. These three tribes crossed the North Sea from modern-day Germany and Denmark and brought their Germanic language with them. Before the arrival of these tribes, the people of Britain were part of the Roman Empire and spoke a Celtic language. The language of these tribes became known as Anglo-Saxon, or Old English. Some Anglo-Saxon words that we still use today are meal, sea, good, and bad. The Anglo-Saxon names of many body parts are also still in use, including eye, foot, and arm. In the 8th century AD, Britain experienced another series of invasions that lasted into the 11th century. The invaders were Vikings who came from Scandinavia. Their language, Old Norse, was similar to the Germanic language of the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes. Some common words derived from Old Norse are sky, knife, egg, and window. In 1066, the French-speaking Normans conquered England and introduced more than 10,000 words, such as beef, juice, justice, liberty, and prison. In addition, the Normans incorporated the subject-verb-object sentence order into the language, and it soon developed into Middle English. English speakers today wouldn't understand much of spoken Old English and Middle English. However, with the invention of the printing press around 1440, spelling, punctuation, and grammar became standardized, and the elements of modern English were born. In the 15th century, Britain began to establish itself in other parts of the world and borrowed words from the peoples it interacted with. For example, the words tobacco, potato, and hammock were taken from Native American languages, while Italian provided the words volcano and spaghetti. Later, the Hindi words shampoo and pajamas entered the language when India was a British colony. English, like most languages, is constantly changing. In fact, 4,000 new words are added to the dictionary each year. While it might seem impossible to keep up with the language, speaking English makes the life of an international tourist or business person much easier. And if you're a pilot, you don't even have a choice. Since 2008, the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, has required that all international pilots be proficient in English.